Hearing Julink's words and witnessing his actions, RMC becomes extremely furious. That stone barrier in which Julink had trapped everyone was even more terrifying. Anyone killed within it would have their soul destroyed, along with their body. But after seeing all this, RMC becomes so enraged that he immediately summons his scythe in a burst of fury and shouts angrily, "Do you really think you can kill all of us by yourself?" Hearing RMC's words, Joie Xiang bursts into laughter. Mocking him, he says, "Lin Moyu, are you crazy? You're just a mage. And you actually think you can fight me with a weapon?" As he says this, Zhu Lichang also draws his weapon. His entire body is now glowing with a radiant golden light. Looking at RMC, he laughs once more and says, "I was planning to kill you last. But now I've changed my mind." Saying that, he raises his sword into the air and filled with rage yells, "Go to hell immediately." He swings his sword and unleashes a powerful sword slash toward RMC, shouting, "Cut him in half." A powerful golden sword slash speeds toward RMC and strikes him directly. However, the moment it hits, RMC activates his passive damage transfer skill, and since it's fully connected at this time, he doesn't take a single hit. Not even a scratch touches him. RMC remains completely unharmed by the attack. Seeing this, Yulashing suddenly panics nervously, and in a trembling voice, he says, "What's going on here? Did I miss just now? How is he completely unharmed?" And right after that, he furiously launches more attacks at RMC in a rage. "This can't be happening. Maybe my first attack missed. But not this time. You're going to die now." With that, he unleashes a series of back-to-back sword attacks on RMC. However, even as the second wave of attacks strikes him, RMC remains completely unaffected. Seeing this, sweat starts to drip down Zhu Lixiang's forehead. He's utterly terrified and gasps, "What the hell is going on? Why isn't he taking any damage?" After seeing Zhu Lixiang launch so many attacks, and realizing that RMC was still completely unaffected, Zhu Lixiang became utterly flustered. Sweat started pouring from his forehead, because he clearly knew that RMC had eaten the fruit, which meant his attributes shouldn't be functioning properly. At this moment, yet none of Zhu Lixiang's attacks were working. This realization left him completely shaken. In a rush, he immediately prepared to use his second skill, Holy Fire Halo. Shouting the name of the Holy Fire loudly, he activated the skill, and at once flames formed from sacred energy began to rise all over the area inside the barrier. These flames were so intense that they began burning the corpses of other people lying around, and very soon this fire took over the entire space within the barrier. Seeing this, the few people who were still alive and standing at a distance from Zhu Lixiang, barely safe, began panicking as they saw the fire creeping in. Some shouted quickly, "Take the recovery potion," while others screamed, "Can God Lin endure this?" Everyone had some doubt in their hearts. Could RMC really endure this holy fire? Every person present was being affected by the fire, and soon waves of flame surged directly toward RMC, and instantly wrapped around him, trying with full force to burn him. However, within a short while, it became clear that even this holy fire couldn't harm RMC. Not a single burn mark appeared on his body. Seeing this, Zhu Lixiang panicked even more and terrified exclaimed, "How is this possible? What kind of monster are you, that not a single attack is working on you?" At this moment, sweat was pouring from Zhu Lixiang's forehead, and he started muttering to himself, "Have you not eaten the fruit yet?" But he immediately rejected his own thought, saying, "No, you ate it. Otherwise you definitely would have summoned those damn skeletons. Why, after eating the fruit, can you still ignore my halo? Why?" And standing right in front of him, RMC instantly sweeps the holy flame away from his body with a single motion of his hand, and says, "I can kill you even without the skeleton army." Saying this, RMC begins moving closer to Zhu Yuchen. Hearing RMC's words, the frightened Zhu Lixiang immediately shouts in anger, "Arrogant fool. You're a mage and you want to fight a knight in close combat. If skills can't hurt you, then I'll take your head with my own hands." And saying that, he once again charges forward to attack RMC with his sword. However, before he can even swing his sword this time, RMC places his scythe in front of Zhu Lixiang's blade, blocking the attack, and then strikes back at him with the same scythe. The moment the scythe lands, It slashes across Zulishang's face. Seeing this, Zulishang is terrified and says, "How is his close combat technique better than mine? He's clearly a mage." Meanwhile, the people trapped inside the barrier, still stuck in the ice, are overjoyed after seeing our MC's performance. Seeing Julia Shang so helpless, they begin shouting, "Come on, General Lin, this bastard should be finished off." At the same time as our MC attacks Yulishang, he thinks to himself, "Thanks to my teacher's foresight, I trained in every profession inside the Divine Zia Pagoda. After eating the first fruit, all 4 of my attributes finally stabilized at 10,000 points each. Although it's not very high, it's still enough." Zulishang is pushed back by our MC's attack, even though fear is visible on his face. Demonic energy begins to rise inside him, causing his eyes to turn red. And in his excitement he begins to think, "Even though I'm at a disadvantage, I've confirmed one thing: he really has eaten the fruit. Right now his attributes are far inferior to mine." Thinking all of this, a smile appears on Zhuo Liang's face, and he immediately prepares once again to launch an attack. This time he raises his sword into the air, to use the skill called Holy Sword of Destruction. A surge of energy, immensely powerful, shoots up toward the sky as soon as he activates this sword skill. He becomes ready to launch a devastating holy destruction. Sword cut straight at our MC. The attack looked so overwhelmingly powerful that everyone who saw it was terrified. In fear they began to shout. And at that moment Zulishang launched the sword cut attack at our MC, yelling, "Now go to hell. This attack will kill you." The attack strikes directly where our MC is standing. The entire area explodes upon impact, but right at that moment, we see our MC had already reached extremely close to Zulixing, and had stabbed him in the stomach with his scythe. Blood gushes from Zulixing's abdomen as the scythe pierces deep, and our MC says coldly, "You're the one who's going to die here," saying that he pulls the scythe out of Zhulei Chang's stomach. Zhulei Chang, seeing himself injured like that, was horrified. He couldn't believe what had just happened. However, no sooner had our MC pulled out his scythe than he immediately stabbed Julia Shang again in the stomach, this time using a sword, and said a weapon dropped by a former boss finally came in handy. As our MC thrust the sword even deeper, blood began pouring from Zhu Lixiang's mouth. He was now on the brink of death. His legs started to tremble. His vision blurred, and within moments, he collapsed onto his knees. Immediately after, RMC slashed him with more strikes, plunging several swords into his body. We now see that so many swords were embedded in Zhu Lixiang's body. It was beyond imagination. Every part of his body had been pierced, and blood was flowing from every wound. He was somehow still alive, and seeing his own horrifying condition, he barely managed to speak. "You can't kill me at this point." He was practically begging in front of our MC and cried out, "Don't kill me, don't kill me. I'm still useful, I can tell you the secrets of the demon worship sect." But our MC stood right in front of him. Hearing this, he replied coldly, "You're just a dog of the demon worship sect. What secret information could you possibly know?" And with those words, he pulled out a sword and drove it straight into Zhu Laoxing's head. With that final blow, Zhu Lixiang died on the spot. The moment he died, the ice skill he had used to freeze everyone inside the barrier also deactivated, and the people trapped in the ice were freed once again. As they regained their freedom, they rushed toward our MC, surrounded him, and with joyful smiles said, "Thank you, God, General Lin, for saving us." Someone else chimed in excitedly, "God, General Lin is truly incredible. He killed that beast even without using any skills, and while his attributes were sealed absolutely." Another agreed, "If not for him, we would all be dead right now." So friends, this chapter comes to an end. What will happen next, we'll uncover it in the next chapter. Don't forget to rate this chapter out of 10 in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. What are your predictions for the next chapter? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And most importantly, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.